Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology Today and Tarot. My name is Mel Rose. This is the Tarot portion in the second half of my daily astrology vlog, which you can check out on my other channel, Astrology Today with Mel Rose. Over there, you'll find a description of the day's astrology as I've spelled it out here. Here, I'm going to discuss the tarot card that sits on the side of the page, and then I'll play another card that, in the context of today's astrology, may give us something more to think about. Let's get into it. The card that currently sits on the side of the page is the Seven of Cups, and it's here for a reason. It's here because it corresponds in astrology with the last 10 days, or the third decan of the sun's transit here in the land of Scorpio. Now, Scorpio is a water sign, and cups in tarot are water element symbolism. And water element symbolism is about emotion, intuition, the things that we feel, the physical sensations that come with that, the information and questions that arise, the fears and insecurities that arise, whatever comes up with those feelings, okay? And so we come to the Seven of Cups, and the Seven of Cups is really about sort of a mode of wishful thinking, which is not always a very bad thing. It can be a good thing to really fantasize about the things that we would desire for ourselves, you know, sort of even sort of pie in the sky, riches, glory, fame, infamy even. And, it's really reminding me these days of Jupiter and Neptune, which are both currently retrograde. Jupiter's about to go to direct again, but they're both retrograde, and they're within 10 degrees of each other in Pisces here. So they're strongly affecting one another. They're essentially conjunct, right? That means they brighten one another's effects in our lives, and they kind of work together to bring a certain kind of intensity. And here that has to do with our intuition, our imagination, our creative capacity, the sort of deep and aimless waters of the psyche and the intuition. And Jupiter here has to do with expansion. Jupiter is interested in our personal growth in terms of like higher education, getting to travel farther than we normally do, or sort of doing a higher level of business than we are. Jupiter's here to help us step our game up. These are both outer planets, and I tend to think of those more as management team, whereas these inner planets are more like personally us, right? So this is our management team, and these are two members of our management team sort of encouraging us right now at this time of really creative and intuitive clarity about what it is that we would like to sort of dream big and to imagine bigger, better things for ourselves. Imagine, what it would be like for us to get that higher education, to know the more that we would like to know about the thing that we would like to know more about, to go to the places we'd like to go, to handle the sort of resources that we would like to handle. Okay, so it's okay to dream about that expansion in your life, and in fact, it's not really likely to happen otherwise. You could be the luckiest, most blessed person in the world with everything handed to you on a platter, but if you don't have an imagination about what you're going to do with it, then you might really just still sit in your kitchen and go nowhere, right? So yes, fantasize, dream. It's a good time to be doing that. Those are both very blessed in conjunction with our personal lives. This is us. This is our sense of purpose. This is our rationale, our intellect. This is our loving desire to receive the things that we like, love, and can't get enough of. And that's not our whole personal self. The moon is us personally. It's like our inner life. The Mars is us personally. It has to do with our assertion and aggression in the world. But, it's sort of how we pursue the things that we'd like to have. But these personal planets have been traveling together here in Scorpio for a while. Mercury and Venus conjunct just crossed into Sagittarius. They are all in trine effect right now with Neptune and Jupiter, saying, yes, we are feeling that positive, almost blessed functioning of being able to dream for the big thing, dream about the big things that we want to, of being able to sort of plan for and try to draw toward us those bigger, better ideas we have about ourselves for our lives. And remember, also with cups comes the possibility of illusion or eventual disillusionment, right? So we want realize that when we're dreaming our bigger capacity dreams, you know, we just don't know what's going to come with it, right? You know, we can strive toward an ideal, but we don't get to say yes, and it's all going to be ideal. There'll be nothing about it that hurts or is difficult, right? Okay, because, you know, sort of making big strides, sometimes it involves some difficulty. So just be aware of that. Don't sort of delude yourself into thinking you can have all the nice things and none of the challenges. And I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these one more time. I think I shuffled them a couple times, but thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your attention at this time. I appreciate it that you give your time to me in this way when you tune in, and I'm so happy to be able to share this sort of intuitive information with you. Twice in a row, we got the Four of Cups. Is that right? Did we get something else? We got something else in between there, I think, but the Four of Cups. Yes, we got this on the 15th. And, you know, cups and cups, okay, so we're still in a very watery condition here. It's still very much about our imagination, our creative capacities, our intuition, what that's telling us. But it's also, you know, a lot of that comes to us, you know, initially in the form of just a feeling, an emotion, right? And, you know, some of these experiences are not very satisfying. And here's the thing, satisfaction is like that ultimate feeling that we strive for almost all the time, right? I want to feel satisfied that I am ready. I want to feel satisfied that I'm loved. I want to be satisfied that I'm happy. I want to be satisfied that I have all the attention and affection I desire. I want to be satisfied that I'm getting the compensation that I am due. I want to be satisfied, you know, that's sort of the ultimate expression, right? Is sort of that satisfaction, or not really the ultimate expression, but maybe the penultimate expression, sort of that Nine of Cups feeling where, yes, I have achieved all of the levels of wish fulfillment that I would like to have, right? But this is sort of not wish fulfillment. This is very much, you see this person sort of looking at these cups that I'm assuming they've already inspected them, imbibed from them, you know, perhaps, you know, found those experiences, those emotional, intuitive experiences, pretty unsatisfying, not getting the satisfaction we're looking for, even though we are giving ourselves to situations, right? And you can see on this person's shirt there, it says, over it, right? So, I mean, that's a pretty loud message that just says, yeah, I'm tired of these the experiences I've been having. I keep giving myself to situations and I keep not finding satisfaction there. And, you know, that sense of being over it, that sense of, you know, feeling dissatisfied and not even really wanting to look any further than those terrible experiences we've already had, or those unsatisfactory experiences we've already had. You know, that can be really distracting. It can be kind of depressing. It can make us question ourselves. You know, it can make us question, like, you know, like, what is wrong with me that these emotional experiences are unsatisfying? And I'm here to tell you that there's nothing really wrong with you. You know, perhaps you have learned a lesson from these experiences, and perhaps, you know, you have taken something away from it, like, oh, I'm giving of myself too easily, or I'm giving too much to situations where I'm not getting the proper reciprocity, right? So, you know, take that. Take those realizations under advisement. You know, there's a lot of astrology on the page today saying, talk to other people, collaborate with other people about your goals. And that's not just about these bigger, badder goals for like wealth and success and fame or whatever, but, you know, these also these emotional and intuitive goals to be able to create what we want for ourselves, to be able to feel that emotional satisfaction, to have some of our wishes for love and attention and recognition, you know, sort of honored. So, you know, it might be a good time to talk to somebody, especially if you're feeling particularly distracted by these cups that didn't satisfy, these experiences that didn't satisfy. You see this person, not only do they not see the cup coming in from the side, they're sort of distracted from what is available next, right? In terms of their ability to emotionally invest, they're distracted from it by what they've already been through. But they've also just put their phone down. They're like, I'm gonna stop searching. I'm not gonna look. I'm not waiting for a phone call, or maybe I am waiting for a phone call, but there's only one phone call I want to answer, right? So yeah, I think it's valid at a time like this, if you're feeling over it about the emotional experiences you've had, to sort of rest and reflect, to take from it what you can, and really to collaborate, talk with a friend about what it is you're trying to get out of these experiences, and why you're coming away feeling unsatisfied. I always want to talk to somebody that I've sort of seen go through something similar, or that I can imagine has gone through something similar, just because they may be more experienced person than I am, or they're, on a path that I would like to be on. So, don't forget to ask a friend if you're feeling very sort of deep in these emotions, or deep in your resistance to new emotional experiences, because eventually, we can't stay in this position, right? This is instructive. It's meant for us to learn from it, so that we can go on and have more satisfying experiences in the future. Where do we see this on the page, this feeling of emotional dissatisfaction? I mean, I guess I probably see it the most here in Mars being retrograde. And, there's a shape on the page today. It's this T-square where the moon is opposite to Neptune, and Mars retrograde is square to both. So moon and Neptune together, this is like... this is very much like we just sort of, we're very creative, we're very open, we're open to new creative ideas, we're open to new emotional and intuitive experiences. And, Neptune is retrograde right now in Pisces, giving this extraordinary emotional and intuitive clarity. Ask yourself whether you've noticed how clear you are on your emotional reactions right now, how aware you are of your intuitive reactions to things right now, because there is a lot of clarity on offer at this time. And Mars is retrograde, though. Mars is square to both of these, and usually that would be the call to action. It would be like, okay, so you can dream and you can create, and you're open to new ideas, you're open to these new experiences that might be coming in, right? But Mars is retrograde over here going, I can't just go ahead, though. I've got to maybe talk to a friend. I have to express the dissatisfaction first. I have to have a conversation with myself or someone else about why I keep having this dissatisfying thing, because I don't want to keep taking actions that don't work. I might think that I have a great idea, but then the action I take on it doesn't seem to work to get me the satisfaction I'm looking for. So I kind of need to re-envision how I move into these situations, how I approach those emotional and intuitive offers, right? All those emotional, how I approach investing myself in people, places, and things. Okay, so it's really just not as simple as turning your head and grabbing the cup right now. It's saying this is going to require some thought, and I do want to make progress, and I do intend to act, but I might need a little help from a friend. I might need a little collaboration. I might just need to really express how this feels, right? Express, let it out, okay? How this feels in some way that feels satisfying before I can, come to the realization I need to have a different active approach that will work better for me going forward. Let's put these two together. 7 and 4 is 11, friends. Let's see. It just tells me that, being this person who has had a lot of emotional dissatisfaction, and I have been there. I understand this feeling very much. I have had this feeling of being over it and not really wanting to deal with anybody or anything, because I don't seem to be, nothing I seem to do brings me the satisfaction I'm looking for, the attention and affection I'm looking for, the regard or the recognition I'm looking for, you know. But that doesn't mean that we don't have dreams, okay? Like getting focused on what has happened might also be distracting us from knowing what it is that we want, right? Says we have some idea what it is that we would want, right? Neptune and Jupiter down here in Pisces together retrograde are asking us to think about, like, if we really had everything we want, if we really could experience all the growth we desired to experience, if we really could have our life expand in all the directions we would like it to expand, what would that look like? What is our ideal circumstance, right? So we have dreams and hopes for ourselves, and those may shift and change a little bit, but it's very common, for people to want more for themselves than what they already have, and it's actually an excellent idea to want more for yourself than what you already have. Okay, that's coming from me, a person who sort of abhors stagnation in my life experience. I can't, I find it very depressing to get stagnated. I find it very depressing to get it sort of stuck in this area where I just feel dissatisfied and not interested in engaging, right? And, again, valid to be there for a time, but, we have dreams. We have to remember what those bigger, better versions of ourselves look and feel like to us. And we have to really be also always open to having the next experience, the next emotion, investing in the next person, place, or thing that may be our best collaborator in drawing in those things we like, love, and can't get enough of, those bigger, better versions of ourselves that we know we have within and that we seek to develop in this lifetime. Okay, I think that's all I have to say about it today, friends. I hope I didn't go too long. Thank you so much for being here. I do truly appreciate your presence. My name is Mel Rose, and I'll see you all back here tomorrow for more Astrology Today and Tarot.